Welcome to day 248 of our DeSo journey. I'm Ed Krasenstein, here with my twin brother Brian, and this video is sponsored by Cox.
Our new sponsor for the next 2 weeks. We're excited to have Cox sponsoring us. You're going to be hearing a whole lot about them over the next couple of weeks, and I'm sure thereafter because their roadmap is just phenomenal. I think that what they're doing is pretty unique. They're kind of stepping up NFTs in a way that a lot of other projects haven't. Instead of just presenting art, they have all sorts of really cool ideas that are coming over the course of the next several months. Check them out. It's a series of 1,000 NFTs. They've minted 123 so far, but they're doing, like I said, they're doing a whole lot, and we're going to be talking a lot about them over the next 2 weeks. We'll give tidbits of information and news about Cox over the course of the next 2 weeks, and I'm excited about having them and being able to talk about them.
Yeah, you don't just have to be a fan of chickens or roosters to like Cox. If you like art, if you like collecting NFTs, you definitely want to check these out. But let's get on to some of the news. So yesterday, Daniel K., he's a developer on the platform, on the DeSo platform. He got some information about the developer grants that the Octane Fund's handing out. And some of that information is as follows. $800,000 is going to approximately 20 developers on the platform. So, there's about 20 developers who are getting these grants, and the total amount is $800,000. So the average is going to be about $40,000, but the amount's going to vary. It's going to vary between different developers depending on their team size. It's going to depend on some other things like how far along they are in the process and things like that.
Yeah, so basically these are the projects that maybe weren't quite ready for equity funding yet, but they're really promising, and Nader and Alex feel that just a little bit more work might push them towards a first seed round in equity. So they're giving them money. These are grants. They're not taking any equity stake for these funds that they're divvying up to these 20 projects. And I think that's really big. These projects can kind of relax. They have some cash that they can work with. Some of this cash might come in 2 different spurts. I know that Daniel said that he's getting half of it now, and then half in a few months, so in February of next year. So I think that they're doing it smart. They're playing it smart. They're gonna give half the money to some of these projects, and then see how they're doing in a few months, and then release the other half as long as things are proceeding, I guess, as they hope. And and I think this is really important for the community. I think that these are 20 projects that now can kind of, the founders of these projects can now kind of concentrate. I don't want to say full time, but at least take a lot of their time, that free time, and devote it to these projects, knowing that they have a backing and the cash to be able to move forward. I know a lot of smaller projects think that, hey, I like this is taking up a lot of my time. I don't want to keep putting out money if I don't know this is going to proceed to anything. And DeSo is in such an early stage. There is no guarantee what's happening with DeSo. It's hard to really put yourself out there. So these grants are going to be incredibly important, I think.
Yeah, and according to Daniel K., the developers had the choice to choose between being paid in Bitcoin and being paid in USDC, which is a US currency pegged crypto, essentially. So that's great news. I think it's going to spur development on the platform, to prove to other developers out there that the Octane Fund's serious, and they're going to be putting a lot of money out there to fund the development on DeSo. So I think it's going to bring more developers into the community. And it's just going to be fun to watch some of these projects become a reality on the platform.
Absolutely. And then we're going to hear more about the equity financing of these 10 other projects. I think it's about 10 projects that are going to get their first equity round of financing. And I think these are going to be even higher amounts, and it's going to be exciting to see which projects are getting that. So I think moving forward in the next couple of weeks, we're going to see a lot.
Yeah. So Brian froze up here. Brian, you froze up there for a minute. Can you just go over what you just said for the last 10 seconds?
I think over the course of the next next couple of weeks, we're going to get a lot more information about how these developers are going to start bringing in this money and how they're going to utilize this money. And I think it's just a positive for the whole ecosystem and the whole community, because this is just more money for developers to work with and more users.
Yeah. So Raj Lahoti is also working on a new project. You know, Raj has been with us since the beginning. He's one of the OGs of DeSo BitClout. And he's working on a new project called DeSo 101, DeSo101.com. And it's essentially a tutorial for people to onboard their friends onto DeSo. And it's still a work in progress, but I checked it out and it's really, really cool. And I think the way the tutorial works, I think, is better than what we have right now on Diamond App. So hopefully he can build this out, maybe some other nodes, maybe even Diamond App could kind of integrate with it at some point if it ends up working out. And it leaves a spot for you to put your referral. So you could tell your friend here, sign up here, use my referral link, and you can copy and paste that link. Otherwise, it uses a default one. I assume it's Raj's or someone else's. And so I think it's a great idea. And, you know, Raj has been developing on DeSo for quite some time, whether it was GiftClout or, I mean, he started out with GiftClout back in the very beginning, which helped onboard, you know, probably thousands of users. So great job, Raj Lahoti. And we look forward to seeing how this project goes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have too much else to say about it. I tried it out. It's a work in progress. It already has some content up there, but you can see he has several, I think about 8 or 9 different categories in which you're going to be able to get tutorials and get information about how you can kind of become a better DeSo user and learn about the platform, learn about creator coins. And this is something we need, I think. And I think Raj has the experience with customer support and has the experience working with people online that I think he's probably a good fit for somebody to be doing this.
Yeah, so in other news, Fast Freddy gave a bit of an update on the video contest. So as we talked about yesterday, Fast Freddy put out a contest where you can make a video explaining DeSo, explaining aspects of DeSo on YouTube, post it, and they're going to choose winners and give away $15,000 to those winners. But the update is that he said that they're monitoring the videos to make sure that nobody's essentially buying video views to up the views and win the contest. So they're monitoring it. I also noticed there are a couple of them who had like 10,000 views of the videos and they only had like 3 followers on YouTube, 3 subscribers on YouTube. So it just didn't make sense. So I'm glad they're monitoring it because it's going to give some of the people who really put hard work into this and who have been sharing the video in legitimate ways a better chance. And I mean, under that post that Freddie made, I think it was last night, people responded with their favorite videos. He asked them to. And so far, I'd have to say Kat Garcia's video is the #1 video that people have liked. But a close second, third, and fourth I'd say Hikey, Nigel's, DOZ, IZ, and Mark Bentley are all like right up there with Kat. But I think Kat has a slight edge right now as far as what people on the platform like.
Yeah, and I think it's important that they do kind of weed out those who are possibly buying views. I know we kind of brought that up right from the start, and they listened to us. I know I had a discussion with Fast Freddy in Discord about it, and he immediately understood what I was saying. And I'm glad that they're doing this in as fair and equitable a way as possible. And I think it can be a blueprint for other types of contests they do in the future. It's important that you do it in a fair way, just so that somebody can't manipulate the procedure, I guess.
Yeah, and I think that's all we have to talk about today. We'll talk to you tomorrow on day 249 of our DeSo journey.